welcome back into the AM show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Tuesday. Now, guys, I told you at the top of the show, we have a very, very special guest with us today, the glamour girl of jazz herself, Allyson Briggs. Now, she is a powerhouse vocalist, a band leader, and an entertainer who has performed everywhere from Carnegie Hall to Birdland. She's opened for legends like Lionel Richie and sings in 7 languages. Yes, 7 languages. We're gonna get into all of that. With her band, Fleur Seule, she brings vintage jazz to life with style and elegance. Her latest album, Promises, Prayers, and Raindrops, Allyson Briggs sings Burt, Bacharach, is making waves, and we can't wait to hear all about it. So without further ado, Allyson, welcome to the AM show.
Thank you so much.
How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, can I just say I love the fit. I love your look.
Thank you.
And you are called the glamour girl of jazz. How did you get that title? Tell us about that.
That's, I think that was in a review somewhere that popped up after one of my concerts, and I said, I like that, so I'm just going to stick with that. Yeah. I always try to dress to impress. So.
Oh, I love it. And your vibe it's vintage in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. It's vintage, and it goes with the music that you sing, the jazz music. Yeah. Is that intentional? Did the music find your style, or did your style find the music, or was it kind of a blend of both?
It's kind of a blend of both. This is kind of the retro world of classic music from anywhere from like the 20s to 70s is really what has always appealed to me, has always been a natural fit for me vocally too. Just, it was what I grew up listening to, and I think influenced my personality. I'm very much an old soul, and I've always loved the glamorous fashion of all those Hollywood stars, and I love how people would just get dressed up, like just to go out to the grocery store. It was really impressive, and I like to try to just bring that back and encourage people to, you feel different when you put on a really sharp outfit, and you kind of feel ready for anything. So
you're so right about that. Like your confidence levels goes up. Like when you feel good, when you know that this outfit it's giving everything, then you can just be confident in any other conversation you have throughout the day. So
exactly.
I totally get that. And when you look back at kind of why everyone dressed up back in the day, I think it was also because they didn't really have access to phones. It was just like someone could show up at your door at any time, just knock on the door.
People just dropped by. Remember that?
Those drop-ins. Now it's like people don't even want to pick up a phone call. It's like, no, that's too invasive.
Make an appointment before we visit.
Yeah, exactly, right? Make an appointment. No, that's great. So you've kind of been influenced your whole life with this music, but I want to take it back to how long have you been singing for specifically?
Well, I can't say exactly because it's been many moons, but we'll say a long time, ever since I was about 5. So
Ever since you were about 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was when I kind of got the stage bug.
Yeah.
I was in like a community children's theater production of Pocahontas the musical, and I was like way in the back ensemble, just hired as a little kid to kind of run across the stage for something. And that whole process was so exciting, and I was hooked. So it started very early for me.
Yeah, just that feeling of being on the stage. Do you still get that kind of same feeling? Like, was it butterflies? What was it?
It's exciting. It's not nerves, but it's excitement. It's a bit of adrenaline, depending on where you are. It's a lot of adrenaline. Carnegie Hall was a lot of adrenaline. That was an incredible day.
Wait, okay, tell us about that. We need to hear about that because yes, guys, Carnegie Hall, the Carnegie Hall you performed at. Tell us how that happened.
Well, as they say, you gotta practice. So a good friend of mine, Michael Feinstein, actually, he was putting together a tribute to Peggy Lee, and they thought they should call me because I had done a tribute to her prior at Birdland Jazz Club, and I was kind of a great fit for that whole world, and we were doing a lot of her repertoire that was popular in the 40s and 50s. Yeah. So luckily he said, I'll give Allyson a call. We had been working together on several shows before, and her granddaughter, Holly Foster Wells, was there to present an award. She's very active in keeping Peggy's catalog alive and thriving, and I got to sing 3 solos and a group finale at Carnegie Hall with Michael Feinstein, and I said, what what is happening here?
That was a pinchy moment, right? Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And do those nerves like go away? I always wonder this with performers. It's because you can perform in such an intimate setting, but yet you can also perform on a big stage like at Carnegie Hall. Does it feel different? Do you feel like more nerves in one setting or the other, or?
I guess I feel a little more. I would call it nerves and adrenaline going into the bigger the production is. But as long as you have done your practicing, you've done the rehearsals, you've done everything, I learned you have to say to yourself, okay, I've done all the preparation. It's in God's hands. It's going to be whatever it will be. I've done everything I can do, and now you also want to be in the moment. So you really want to get out of your head and not stress about it so that the audience can enjoy it too.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I think when you have a passion for it and you're talented in the way that you are, it probably just oozes out of you as well, which I just think is so fascinating.
I suppose so.
Yeah, no, it definitely does, because we are definitely getting that when we see you now. You talked about how Peggy Lee, right? You did an honor to Peggy Lee. Were there any other artists growing up, maybe in that scene or maybe in a different genre, that you really looked up to that kind of inspired how you sing today?
Well, I would say yes. When I think about it, as I'm asked that question, I have to say Peggy Lee and Frank Sinatra, that world of those retro jazz singers were a big influence, but also Karen Carpenter. I have a special place in my heart for Karen Carpenter, and her voice could just kind of touch you in a really unique way. Yeah. And so that's something that influenced me, as well as Linda Ronstadt. She was kind of the master of doing any genre she set her mind to, and I take great inspiration from that in terms of my overall career. She was really adept at picking what she could do really well, and just she would go from like rock to Broadway. Oh, she won a Tony for doing an operetta on Broadway. And then she did Jazz Standards album. But she did all these very different things very well. So that's very inspiring to me too.
Yeah, like you don't have to do everything, but the things you are going to do, make sure you know how to do it.
Right, and she had a reason for picking those. So I think it's called like Canciones de mi Padres, or something like that. It's the whole series of songs that she did with her grandfather in Spanish. It's like very traditional mariachi music, but she had that connection to the music. Yeah. So there's a reason for doing those different career choices too. In the way and then it comes out naturally.
Yeah, well, you've definitely kind of followed along in her footsteps in a sense, because I teased this at the top, but I mean, you can sing yourself in 7 different languages. Tell us about that. What are the languages? I know there's Spanish and French. What are the other languages? And do you understand all those languages, or you just know how to sing in those various languages?
So I speak French, German, and Spanish.
Wow.
I married a Boricua, so we speak Spanish in la casa. And my Boricua is in the back here. Presente. But I found out as a young kid that when I went to public school, I was homeschooled, all my sisters and I were homeschooled initially, I could get out of art class if I took German. And I was so dreadfully bad at art that German was easier. So I opted for that, and I actually fell in love with it as a young kid. And when you're younger, it just kind of, you absorb it way faster. My family is of mixed German and French ancestry anyway, so it was very interesting to me to kind of start making those connections, those family connections. And so French was my next thing I wanted to start. Yeah. And so I was blessed to be able to start those very young and absorb all of that. And so that gave me that passion for language and communication, and all of that ties into the music. It's about communication. And then Spanish was my natural next one, because I said, you know what, so many people in New York speak Spanish. I'm going to be living there, because I had all these plans to go to NYU, and I got my foundation in that. And then when I married my husband, now I would say Spanish is my second language.
Wow.
my second strongest.
Well,
I'm okay at English.
No, well, it's probably because you're around it every day too.
Yes.
You're immersed in that culture,
Yeah.
in that language
Yeah.
every day. I mean, that is quite something. That is not something that everybody can say, but it seems like you've mastered all those Romance languages in a way.
Yeah.
And you can see that when you perform in those various languages. I've watched some videos of you doing that. You're not missing a beat with any of it. So bravo to you with that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your band. Your band. See, I am only fluent in English, so let me see if I'm pronouncing this properly. Fleur Seule.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Did I say it okay?
Yeah.
Yes, I've been working on it all morning. Okay, Fleur Seule, because it does have such a unique, this retro jazz sound to it. So how did you come to create the band? Where do you guys perform? Tell us everything we need to know about the band.
So, very true to the New York music scene. I had this idea, and once I did a stint in the finance world, just had to pay the bills, right?
Oh, wow.
So while I was doing that and surviving in New York as a young 20-something, I was thinking about what can I do to use what I know I have this music in me. I know that it wasn't quite a right fit for the Broadway trend at the time. It was going more of a pop rock route, and that wasn't really my natural voice or spirit.
Yeah.
And so I said, I know that I'm destined to do something with music. And as I started thinking about it, my mom just mentioned, well, I met this guitarist. I think he was playing at a country club. And what if you tried out playing some songs with him, like just to see where it goes? And so that snowballed into meeting a bassist, meeting a drummer, and it's very much an old school, it's the grapevine in the New York music scene. Yeah. So one guitarist led to now I have put together a 15-piece salsa orchestra that we do shows at like the Hard Rock Hotel and Tavern on the Green. And so it's just
15-piece?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
From 1 to 15.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay. Yeah.
So it picked up some steam, and I got our first gig and then a residency, and you kind of follow that momentum.
Yeah.
And people seem to like it, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing fantastic. I was even looking at your calendar online. You have a lot of bookings already this month of where you guys are going and what you're doing. I think it's fantastic that you're able to be in front of the audience, singing, doing your passion, but you're also kind of managing things on the other side. So you're wearing multiple hats.
Yeah.
How are you juggling it? And do you like kind of doing the business side of being an artist, which some people don't realize that, no, sometimes you have to also be the businesswoman.
Well, you really do need to have two sides of your brain. I tell people, especially if you're an independent artist nowadays, you need to have a business side brain and your art side brain, because artists are expected to do so many extra things now. We have social media. I do all of that. We have all sorts of new avenues for sharing our music, different ways that people are receiving it. So you have to be ready to do that and create the opportunities for yourself. You have to understand, who am I? Kind of think of yourself as a brand. What is my brand? What am I bringing that's unique? And I'm not a person who likes to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so great, and I sang with this person. Like, that makes me really like, ugh.
But she is, guys. But she actually is. Okay, yeah, keep going.
But my bassist, Michael Bryan, he said this so perfectly, and I'll never forget it. He said, the way that I found to deal with that is come up with an elevator pitch of yourself that you can stomach. And I thought, that's a really good way to think, because you're in New York and people are like, who are you? What do you do? Why should I care? And you need to be able to articulate quickly, this is what I'm bringing. This is why it's unique, and this is why I think you can benefit from this. What do? I'm creating elegant ambiance that is a throwback, and it's a whole retro old Hollywood experience through high-class music in 7 languages. You're getting a totally unique, enveloping experience. And it took me about 11 years to be able to say that.
Oh, there you go, to do the elevator pitch of yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a wonderful pitch, and it really does encompass everything you've been doing it. And you're doing it in the city where, like, it's hard and the roots are. of the jazz scene and the jazz music right here as well in New York City. So I think you're in the prime location as well. You have an audience. People want to hear you. And speaking of that, we definitely want to hear you as well. So guys, we are going to take a quick commercial break. Then we're going to get into some of the music that you've done. You guys see Allyson's amazing CDs, her body of work right here. But we're also going to hear you perform not one, but 2 songs. That sound good?
That's what I'm told.
Yeah, it sounds great, guys. I promise you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Allyson is going to show us what she's got. We'll be right back.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into the AM show. Yes, round of applause because we are still joined by the incredibly talented Allyson Briggs. Hey, Allyson, how are we doing?
Good. I'm ready to share some music with you.
Yes, I'm so ready too. So I want to hear a little bit about the first song that you're going to be doing. Tell us about the history of it, what the name of it is, how long you've been singing it for.
So the first song, it's an original called See You Again, and I did write it during the pandemic. It sort of came to me during that, here in New York, we were kind of in those lockdowns, and it was just a very strange and dark place, and I felt I wanted to share something with people that would hopefully give them some hope, and I think that music is the best way to do that. So I wrote this and we did like a whole orchestra recording with strings and everything, and I wanted it to be a message of hope.
Oh my God, that's absolutely incredible. So you write the lyrics and you also work on the composition as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that like, doing both of it? Because a lot of times artists either do one, the other don't do anything, and they just sing it.
I think that's the way that I hear it and it comes to me. So sometimes it's lyrics first, music second, sometimes it comes all together. So you never really know, and you always just kind of have to be open and receptive to when you get an idea, write it down, and I'm now infamous in my household for grabbing my phone while I'm in the shower and making voice memos. So
they
get it down.
That it's something about the water being in water that like helps to spark creativity in a certain way.
I think that's true, because I think also you don't have any other distractions. Normally in the shower you don't have your devices, you don't have people talking to you, it's quiet. And I think that's a good environment for allowing those ideas to come to you.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm so happy that you wrote See You Again, and I'm excited to hear it. Wonderful. Take it away, Allyson. Let's go, guys.
So fast, nothing seems real. Night comes too soon to remind me when I try not to feel. I am afraid of the silence, it lets all my thoughts run wild. I can't pretend I am brave anymore. I'm just a child. If I could see you again, I know I'd make it through. If I could hear you again, I'd have something to hold on to. I try to keep moving, to keep away the thoughts that make me face the truth. I need to see you again. I'm nothing without you. So many things to fill up the hours, but something is missing, I know. My body's moving while my heart is crumbling. No safe place left to go. I am afraid of the silence that lets all my thoughts run wild. I can't pretend I am brave I'm just a child. If I could see you again, I know I'd make it through. If I could hear you again, I'd have something to hold on to. 'Cause I try to keep moving, to keep away the thoughts that make me face the truth. I need to see you again. I'm nothing without you. Running around in the dark, stumbling and falling down, needing a hand to hold. Filling up space from my fears with the noise of the world, and I need to let go. If I could see you again, I know I'd make it through. If I could hear you again, I'd have something to hold on to. 'Cause I try to keep moving, to keep away the thoughts that make me face the truth. I need to see you again. I'm nothing without you. I can't wait to see you again. I know we'll make it through. I can't wait to hear you again, to hold you in my arms. I just gotta keep moving and fight away the thoughts that wash our hope away. I know I'll see you again. I'm on my
Wow. Good. I told you. Absolutely incredible. Round of applause. Allyson Briggs. Wow. The whole time, all I was thinking was your vocal range. It is off the charts. And something we didn't get to during our interview is whether or not, was that natural, or did you go to a lot of vocal lessons, or how did your range kind of come to be?
I think it was natural. So when you're 8 years old and you say, hello, how are you? It creeps people out. But I have a very wide vocal range, but I've definitely nurtured it over the years through the demands of different song requests and repertoire that I've chosen.
You've been.
Want to have all the options.
Yeah, well, you definitely have all the options. You're doing a great job, guys. Wow. Now, I'm sorry we're being a little greedy here, but I want to hear a little bit more from you. We want to do one more song, but guys, we're just going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are going to get to another hit from Allyson Briggs. So don't go anywhere, because we're going to hear it again. We'll be right back. Woo! That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. How did you feel? Everything was good? Welcome back into the show, everyone. We are still joined by Allyson Briggs. Thanks so much for hanging out with us again. Now, after hearing your first song, we need some more. We need some more. So tell us about the second piece that you're about to sing for us.
So the second piece is also an original. It's called We Had Spring, and it's a jazz standard inspired vibe, so kind of 30s, 40s, Great American Songbook-esque, and it was a single that I released recently, and Jason Yeager is at the piano with me.
Oh, amazing. Wonderful. We Had Spring. Well, you know what, guys? Kind of ties into the theme of what we were talking about at the top of the show, how we all wish it was spring sooner, right?
Yes.
So this is going in with that, and so we're not listening to groundhogs, not 6 more weeks of winter. Spring is officially here on the AM show with Allyson. So Allyson, take it away.
The skies are a bit lazy. Afternoon rolls around. My eyes are still hazy, finding my way around. Thinking of those days we spent beneath the sun. They may be over, but boy, we sure had fun. We had Saturdays together. We had walking through the park. We had lovely days of weather and romance in the dark. We had all our heart's desires. We enjoyed our little fling. We had it all, my dear. We had spring. We had holding hands in May. We kissed every day in June. All those long walks by the bay, dancing underneath the moon. We had stormy days that set our feet aflame. Most of all, my dear, we had spring.
Brava. I was just thinking that entire time that I could imagine a group full of people just dancing and just going, like, taking me back to the 30s, the 40s. Everyone's dressed up. Oh, it was just such a vibe. Brava. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us. And now I wanted to talk quickly about your latest album that is out. We can check this out right here. It is called Promises, Prayers, and Raindrops. When you sing Burt, Bacharach. So can you just tell me a little bit of the history behind this album, what the reception's been? Tell us everything about it.
Well, this all started about 2022 with the passing of Burt Bacharach, and actually this Saturday, February 8th, will be the anniversary of his passing, and I'm doing a special concert in Jupiter, Florida to honor him. I was inspired by the song Close to You. That was kind of what started all of this, and I had been percolating ideas, and as I researched more, that song that the Carpenters sang, but Burt Bacharach wrote it, it kind of took me down this rabbit hole, and suddenly I had all these Burt Bacharach songs that I wanted to sing. It turned into a tribute concert to honor his immense body of work. So many songs that he wrote with Hal David, and I said, I need to do a concert, keep this music going. It's awesome, catchy, happy music that it needs to have a fresh take, a fresh chance. And we put the album together. It's a 20-song album.
Wow.
And we recorded it last year. It's been received well by the critics.
Yeah.
And we got a couple nice write-ups with Jazz Weekly and Playbill. So it's been selling. The CDs are available as well as the streaming everywhere. So.
Amazing, streaming everywhere, Spotify, Apple. Well, I think it is such a great tribute, and I just love this cover photo here. We're using it as well for the promo. You just look amazing here. I love your vibe. I love your style, and I also can just sense your soul and your passion for what you do. It definitely oozes out of you, and I just want to continue to see where you go. What's the next heights for you? It's the next thing Allyson is going to do. We're very excited to follow your journey.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Allyson, guys, give her a round of applause, and make sure you guys go and download her brand new CD, her brand new album. You guys can get it on Spotify, Apple, and where can they find you on social media as well?
My handle is Fleur Seule, or fleurseule.com is my website. I update where we'll be, where you can find our public calendar, as well as book us for private events, which we do quite a lot of. And although we are retro, we are a high-tech retro band, so we're on all the social medias.
Amazing, amazing, guys. Once again, Allyson Briggs, thank you so much for being here. So appreciate it. All right, guys, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We have just a little bit left of the show on what we're calling a Music Tuesday. It's definitely a music-filled Tuesday. Love starting our mornings off like this. We'll be right back. Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming here. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible.